Yo, Samsung are dropping new products like no man's business, 7 in total. And if you look at it, with all the devices that they release, you're thinking, yo, this is probably like a popularity contest, but nothing matches the Flip 5 because it's like, yo, I'm the popular one. I'm the best one. I'm the one that really put foldables on the map for Samsung. So let me get the best gifts and upgrades because it looks like Samsung held nothing back when it came to the Z Flip 5. Let's see what's new because I had a brief hands-on with it. And yeah, the Flip 5 is looking like it's in its bag. All right, for context, I had brief hands-on with the new Samsung products, and that's including the Z Flip 5. And this was around, let's just say 30 to 45 minutes, so it was very brief. So pretty much I'm comparing it to my Flip 4 to pretty much see what's new because whoa, what a difference a year makes in this particular situation. So yeah, let's break it down. Now the design and the build quality, and let me say from the jump, the biggest one you're gonna notice is the outer cover display because the Flip 5 is now using a massive 3.4-inch Super AMOLED display that's running at 60 Hz. And actually the shape of it kind of resembles what you'll see of a folder. So it's kind of interesting in that retrospect, but that outer cover display, man, is pretty much taking up the whole back of the phone, which is gonna make it so much more usable. That's gonna be the main thing you're gonna notice from the jump. But the second thing, the zero gap hinge. If you watch my Flip 4 review from last year, that was one thing that I said is a visual pet peeve. And I get that we're trying to say that it's there to pretty much help with the IPX8 and maintain it. But other brands have proven that you can do that. And now Samsung have done that while still maintaining the IPX8 rating. Again, still no dust resistance, which makes sense. But I like the fact that there's a zero gap hinge. And there's been other visual refinements as well as non-visual refinements when it comes to things like using Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2, a dispersion layer for better protection, and a better, smoother, stronger hinge system with a dual rail system. So many different marketing jargons, but only time will tell when it comes to how those things hold up. But the visual things that I can see, yeah, I appreciate the outer cover display improvement being bigger as well as the zero gap hinge. And again, they've refined the use of armor aluminium, again, another marketing term for their version of metal. But yeah, it's looking good on the Z Flip 5. Even without considering the colors that come on the Flip 5 now, with mint being a new hero color, I think just the overall visual look, especially with the outer cover display, is such a huge step up in terms of just looks and usability. So I'm going to touch on more of the display experience and the software. Yeah, this is looking nice for a 1-year upgrade difference. And if you're coming from things like the Flip 3, the 1.5 5G or the original, yeah, you're going to be loving this one as progression goes, even within a year difference, which I don't usually say. So this is a good look, Samsung. Now for the display experience, like I was saying, the inner display is pretty much the same if we're comparing it to the Flip 4, i.e. 6.7 inches, HD plus 22:9 aspect ratio, and LTPO based display, which is from 1 Hz all the way up to 120 Hz adaptive refresh. Pretty much the same brightness. They didn't really say anything about the increased brightness like what you're seeing on the Fold 5. So the inner display, take it for what it is. The visibility of the crease, the look of the crease, the feel of everything, it pretty much looks the same. So I'm just gonna take it as that for what it is. But really, it's the outer cover display. So let's break that down a little bit. Now, the outer cover display is definitely the main attraction. And like I said before, it's a 3.4-inch display. It's almost like 4 times bigger than this little one at the back right here. It's a Super AMOLED display. It's 60 Hz. I don't think the refresh rate matters too much. It's given and expected. And I think there's a high brightness mode apparently in different situations where it goes up to like 1,600 nits or something like that in unique situations. But don't quote me, but I will correct myself in the comments if that's not the case. But yeah, now this makes it so much more usable because there's so many different things to go through. And again, the hands-on was so short that we just couldn't really showcase it fully working. But you're getting a full access to like a full keyboard. But the main thing that you're really seeing is usable widgets at a glance, right? Where you're able to pinch in, have a multi-view widget mode, have different widgets that you're used to, such as timers, step counters, clock, quick access to the camera, weather. It's so good in that retrospect, and you can flip between different ones and choose in between. What I basically really like a lot is the fact that the notification panel is so much bigger and it's easier to access. And the quick settings panel is also very quick and easy to access as well when you want to change things like your brightness, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. So this outer cover display, boy, I need to use it some more because they showcased that you could actually play YouTube, and I think you can use Google Apps. I mean, it's still up in the air. I need to get my review unit in for me to really test it and see what more apps you can use there. But you know what? This is such a good look because there's so much you can do on the outer display before you even need to open the phone, which, you know what, I'm down for. Brings it closer to the fold experience, but in its own flip way. Now for the specs and the performance, I will say compared to the Flip 4, one of the best things they did was get rid of the 128 gig base model. We don't have that no more. It's 256 from the start with 8 gigabytes of LPDDR5X RAM, as well as the same RAM amount if you want to go up to 512 as well. But the most important thing, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 mobile platform built for Galaxy. And no, we saw the gravy that it brought with the S23 series and the difference making it made, especially for us lot that have been living that Exynos life for years. It's great to see it here as well. Again, this is great optimization and especially efficiency, which we should be benefiting from the ISP, gaming performance and all different things. But overall, these are the specs and the performance that we're working with when it comes to the Flip 5. Now, the camera experience is pretty much fundamentally based on the same thing that we have here. So if we're comparing it to the Flip 4, there really ain't much difference between the two. Basically, you're working with two 12 megapixel sensors on the rear, one main wide, one main ultra wide. There's still no dedicated zoom, which at this price point is a personal pet peeve, not having a minimum 3x, or I'm kind of like a minimum 5x type of guy when it comes to periscope and optical zoom. So take that for what it is. You do have digital zoom up to 10x, but having a dedicated zoom is still something I'm hoping we can get on a flip phone eventually. And I get the form factor and all the things, but it's a dual camera system basically, right? And the inner display is using a 10 megapixel selfie as well. The only thing is, again, I pick up on these odd limitations of all the ultimate camera comparisons that I do on the channel. So definitely go check last year's one and watch out and subscribe, because I will be doing one with the Flip 5 to pretty much see where does it stack up. And initially when I was looking through the camera UI, it looked like the limitation of not being able to record 4K 60 on the ultra wide is still there. Don't know why Samsung do that. I would love to have seen that fix. And of course, there's no 8K video because it's only 12 megapixels on a rear. Now, obviously, the outer cover display, when it comes to the camera capturing experience, is going to be a lot better because of the outer display being bigger. And it fixes one of my biggest problems with this, where the display was so small, it didn't really communicate the camera UI when it was switching different orientations with the controls. And it didn't really communicate with you what your aspect ratio of your video recordings were going to be like. But again, having a bigger display just makes a big difference in knowing what mode you're in, if you're recording, or whether you're on, horizontal or vertical orientation. Whichever one it is, the capturing experience for the rear cameras is so much better, especially when you're using a flex cam, the flex hinge, self-capturing. It's really good now being able to have a much bigger viewfinder. So yeah, that's kind of the initial take for the camera experience. Now, software is running Android 13 with One UI 5.1.1. Damn. Samsung, how many point ones do you need? Yeah, these are the only devices that have the absolute latest version of One UI next to the Fold 5, which is One UI 5.1.1. We know, of course, Android 14 with One UI 6 is around the corner, maybe public release with the betas. It's going to be around September, October like we do, which I'm going to be covering for Sam Mobile, so definitely go subscribe there and check that out. But yeah, I think all the additional features with the cover display is what we're really working with specifically for the Flip 5. And I will need more time to really see what other nuances or new software features, but it's a 0.1.1 update. So take that for what it is. It is the latest version of Android 13, and Samsung are really good with the monthly update. So yeah, that's the software side of things for now. Now for the battery, it's the same size, 3,700 milliamp hour battery with support for 25 watt wired charging, 50 watt wireless, and 4.5 watts for the reverse wireless charging with PowerShare. I definitely was hoping that they were going to increase the battery cell to 4,000 milliamps. Samsung themselves, though, are saying that they are confident with the optimization with the 8 Gen 2 mobile platform Galaxy chip. Yeah, we should be seeing an increase in battery life by a good couple of hours, especially when it comes to video streaming. But again, only time will tell. I would love to see a cell increase with the chipset optimizations But yeah, that's the battery and the charging experience. Okay, so the price of the Flip 5, as you know, £1,049 for the base model, then £1,149 for the 512 gig with the same 8 gigs of RAM. Yep, these products are pretty much on pre-order now as of the 26th of July, and general availability should be around 11th of August, but most of the time when you pre-order it, I think they come a bit earlier, so consider it. This is the popular kid. The Flip 5 is the one that gets all the bread, all the best upgrades, and all the love. I wish I was more of a Flip person. I'm a fold guy. But if you're into your flips and you've been hesitating and you weren't sure, maybe you had the first generation Flip, then you went to the 5G, which is the 1.5 version, or Flip 2 as I like to call it, and you're definitely on the Flip 3, man, I think even on a Flip 4, you can risk it and really consider it. If you got the money and it makes sense, I think the Flip 5 already out the gate is making a strong case for being worthy to get. But what do you think though? Do you agree? What's your thoughts on the Flip 5? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you're part of Team TLS to Tech Lovers Cause, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.